Welcome to World War II Indiana Landmarks, Episode 17, the Veterans Memorial Museum in Terre Haute. I'm your host, Ron May, author of the book World War II Indiana Landmarks. We stay in west central Indiana for today's episode and the city of Terre Haute. Brian Mundell loves military history. As he was growing up in Terre Haute, he cherished the stories told to him by his grandfather, a veteran of World War II. At the age of 26, Mundell tried to enlist in the Marine Corps Reserve. A problem with his blood sugar prevented him from joining, but his interest in military history continued, and he began collecting military memorabilia. In 2004, Mundell traveled to Normandy, France for the 60th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. That experience increased his drive to acquire more military items. It wasn't until 2011, however, when the lease of the building he owned adjacent to his business went unfilled, that he thought seriously of using the space as a museum for his growing collection. On Veterans Day in 2012, Mundell opened the Veterans Memorial Museum of Terre Haute next to his business on Wabash Avenue. To the left of the museum entrance is a large mural painted on the side of the building which depicts scenes from the war eras from World War I to the more recent war in Afghanistan. The museum features combat service artifacts from World War I through the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Most of the displays honor veterans from Wabash River Valley. Mundell's museum is filled with the stuff of everyday life in combat. This includes helmets, uniforms, photos, flags, maps, weapons, medals, letters, and a host of items that other museums don't include. About a third of the museum is dedicated to items from World War II. In addition to memorabilia from the Allied forces, Mundell also displays German and Japanese artifacts, including flags, helmets, weapons, propaganda, and other smaller personal gear from individual soldiers. The Gerstmeyer Honor Roll is another unique piece of local World War II history. This large glass-enclosed wooden display case contains all 1,600 names of Gerstmeyer Technical High School students who served in World War II. A gold star appears next to the names of servicemen who were killed in action. The display, designed by drafting teacher James Royer and his students, and built with the help of other teachers and students, once hung prominently in the Terre Haute school, paying tribute to those who served and those who died. Glancing at it today inside the museum, the visitor gains a deeper appreciation for the great number of local young men from Terre Haute who went off to war, some of whom never returned. Japanese artwork is another unique feature in the display of the museum. Navy Seabee veteran Ivan Williamson, a native of nearby Leroy, Illinois, served on the island of Guam as a storekeeper at the war's conclusion. Some Japanese POWs were assigned to Williamson to assist him with maintaining supplies for the 6th Fleet. One of those prisoners was a gifted artist. Through hand signals, he asked Williamson for cloth and pencils that he could use for drawing. The Japanese artist created beautiful colored pencil sketch drawings on pillowcases and any other cloth he could find for his canvas. 3 of his pillowcase sketches are included in the Williamson display. The humane side of the former enemy is revealed in these colorful sketches. Williamson obviously thought enough of them that he brought them home from the war. As fascinating as the Japanese pencil sketches are, the display of an American pilot's literary work is even more interesting. The visitor must look carefully to see it because his handwritten poetry is on the back of carefully unfolded cigarette wrappers. The poet was 2nd Lieutenant Roger B. Withers of Terre Haute. Withers was a B-17 pilot serving in the European theater with the 8th Air Force. His plane was shot down on May 28, 1944, on his 12th mission while bombing Germany. He was taken prisoner and spent the remainder of the war in German Stalag 7A, prisoner of war camp in Moosburg, Germany. While waiting for the war to end, he wrote on the backside of American cigarette wrappers that were shipped in Red Cross packages and penned at least 28 light-hearted poems. His subjects ranged from planes to people and often included a reference to his imprisonment. The poem entitled Why a Craigie is a sample of his self-effacing and humorous style as he reflects on how he went from pilot to prisoner. I quote, I wandered as a lonely cloud that floats on hills in straggling bits, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of yellow Messerschmitts. And now, interned for the duration, I wish I had not lost formation. In addition to his poems, the Withers display also includes personal photographs, his POW ID papers and dog tag, his pilot's logbook, journal, maps, medals, and other mementos. Withers spent a year as a POW. He was liberated from the German prison camp in the late spring of 1945 and returned home to Indiana. In 2022, to celebrate the museum's 10th anniversary, Mundell added another outdoor mural. This one is a memorial wall to honor the 1,133 men and women from the 7 counties around Terre Haute who were killed in combat from World War I up to the present time. Their names appear by county in white letters on clear plexiglass panels. The panels were installed over a mural by artist Becky Hochhalter. It features the background of a U.S. flag and the foreground of a combat soldier's silhouette as he is kneeling in honor toward a fallen soldier memorial, a helmet resting on the stock of an overturned M16. Near the top of the mural are the bold words, "They died that we might live," and a quote from Jesus in the Gospel of John, "Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." The Veterans Memorial Museum helps keep the memories alive of the many men and women from the Wabash River Valley who have served throughout the wars of the 20th century. Be sure to make a visit there for yourselves. Learn more about the Veterans Memorial Museum and those who served in my new book, World War II Indiana Landmarks, available for purchase on my website or wherever books are sold. And while on my website, check out my trilogy of Indiana World War II service stories. Thanks for tuning in to this episode.